All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Frida Foster, and before I call this meeting to order, I will note for the record that I will serve as acting chair for today's meeting. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the Harlem Community Development Corporation for Friday, January 17, 2020. The directors have received the relevant The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Consistent with the policy of our parent corporation, Empire State Development, we welcome public comment on the items on the agenda. After each item is presented and any comments are received from the directors, we will allow members of the public to provide comments. Please limit all comments to 2 minutes or less, and they should only address the item that is under consideration. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to the items on today's agenda. All right, seeing none, we will go forward. Oh, you do, one. Okay, for the record, please note there's one conflict with the Harlem, the Housing Community. The foregoing has been noted. Our first order of business, actually, before we get started, I see new faces. So can we go around the table and introduce yourself and your name and who you represent, if you represent anyone? And we will start to my right.
Name Brown. I represent New York State Homes and Community Renewal. Ruben is my commissioner.
Maritere Arce, I'm a community member, but I also head the External Affairs Officer at the Department of Social Services, so I work with many of your offices in a professional capacity.
Shauna Harmon-Goff, representing Senator Brian Benjamin.
Holly Drakeford, Director.
Lamont Mays, representing New York State Assembly Member Inez Dickens, and I'm an old face.
Not that old.
Old enough.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Terrell Brock, and I'm representing State Senator Jose Serrano's office. And I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year. And thank you. And I'm not sure, and I think some of us might not have an agenda. I was wondering who would we ask about that?
So first, I would like to say, for sustainability, the agency has moved towards emailing the agenda and the materials, and so we would appreciate that you do print out those items at home, or you can look on your phone. However, if you do need one, Rose will graciously go provide. Okay. Okay, Mr. Brock. Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yolanda Ford. I'm with the New York State Department of Financial Services, and I represent Superintendent Linda A. Lacewell.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Luisa Lopez, and I'm here representing Councilmember Diana Ayala.
All right.
Anady Batista, good morning, with Congressman Adriano Espaillat.
Right.
Eric Cuello with the Office of Councilmember Mark Levine.
Marieli Moronta Sanchez, I'm here on behalf of Assemblymember Robert Rodriguez.
Right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gabriel Lowenstein, here on behalf of Assemblymember Danny O'Donnell.
Ernestine Bell Temple, representing Assemblyman Al Taylor. Good morning.
Good morning. Curtis Archer, Harlem Community Development Corporation. Welcome.
And in the audience.
My name is LaShawn Henry. I am doing the transition. I used to represent Assemblyman Robert Rodriguez, but his chief of staff will now be representing him.
All right.
Thank you.
Destiny Burns, ESD.
All right.
Victoria Gordon, the Requisition Director.
All right.
Adam Kilduff, ESD.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for all coming, and everyone knows Rose, who just walked out. Okay, so our first order of business is the approval of the minutes. Oh, hello, Mr. Lilly. You're just in time to introduce yourself.
Keith Lilly, Councilman Bill Perkins' office. I can't stay long. We have an emergency meeting at Robert Benjamin's office.
Okay, wonderful. Well, hopefully this won't be long.
All right,
our first order of business is the approval of the minutes of the directors' meeting from July 19th, 2019. I will entertain a motion for approval.
Aye. No, second.
Second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Our motion passes. Thank you very much. Next, I will now ask Ms. Victoria Gordon to present a request from the Weatherization Assistance Program for authorization to enter into a contract with Brooklyn Mechanical HTG Corporation in an amount not to exceed $297,150. Ms. Gordon.
Oh, sorry.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And thank you very much for your attendance today, because this is very important for our department to get this contract approved. We are asking for the approval of this contract with Brooklyn Mechanical Heating Corporation to in the amount of $297,150,000. As you may know or may not be familiar, weatherization is a nationwide energy conservation program, and it is funded by the U.S. Department of Energy and the U.S. Department of Health and Community Services. New York State Homes and Community Renewal is the grantee for New York State, and Harlem CDC is one of 54 sub-grantees throughout the state. WAP has been around for the past 35 years or more, and Harlem CDC has been a part of that program since before that and since its inception. So to get to the project is the domestic hot water upgrade to two buildings located at 1250 Fifth Avenue and 4 East 107th Street. The owners of this complex, approached our department to ask for assistance with weatherization assistance. They were doing a major overhaul and rehab of the building. They're doing things like lighting, in-unit tenant repairs of things like their lighting internally, as well as their smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. And so they asked us to assist them with putting in their domestic hot water upgrade. This building is heated by electric heat, but the domestic hot water is gas fired. And the reason that it is so expensive is that this is a 24-story building, and this unit is going to be on the roof of the building. So that is why we held a pre-bid conference. There are 10 bidders on our bidders list. 4 bidders showed up to the actual pre-bid conference, and only 2 bidders actually submitted bids, which you see in your packet, one for $378,000 and one for $283,000. The bid for $283,000 was the bid that we accepted for Brooklyn Mechanical Heating Corporation. Their company has done business with us in the past. They're very competent. We are very familiar with the owner. And this project also requires bonding in the amount of the contract. So anything over $100,000 is required to be bonded. So they would have to present us with a performance bond before they can start work. So today we are asking you to give us the authority, because we cannot enter into a contract that's greater than $175,000 without your approval. So I think I've covered the actual project. If there are any questions, I can take questions before asking you to give your approval. Yes.
Curious, the staff that will work on the project, do they represent the zip codes of the Harlem community? And if so, what are their levels of employment? Just curious.
When you mean the staff, do you mean HCDC staff or the business or the
community at large?
I'm not understanding.
Okay, construction staff, office staff of the project, not HCDC, but the people that manage.
That are doing the other
Yes,
measures?
yes.
Well, I cannot speak to that, unfortunately. That's not our role to figure out, what is going on. They've approached us and they met our criteria, so we were able to agree to fund them. As far as what other individual contracts that are happening on that building, I'm not quite aware of what that is. So I wouldn't be able to tell you affirmatively yes or no of how much, but I can find out for you.
Yes, I would appreciate that. I'm
I can
just
find out for
curious.
you.
Thank you.
Who's the owners again?
The owners are 5th and 106th Street Associates, LP, and Lakeview Apartments, HDFC.
Lakeview.
Right.
Lakeview's on the East Harlem.
Yeah, I know Lakeview.
That's the house.
All right, any questions?
If there's no further discussion, I will take a motion for approval. Oh, sorry, are there any comments from the public? Okay, if there's no more discussions or no questions, I will take a motion for approval.
Aye.
Go ahead, I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor?
They
Any
have no
opposed?
appointment for local hiring.
Any?
Right, can we look further into it?
Yeah, it's an NWBE, as I imagine, right?
Yeah, Robert's office and all of his.
Is this discussion? Are we going backwards? Is this discussion?
Actually, Bill was there too.
Excuse me, is this discussion or are we moving forward with the vote?
Yeah.
You guys want to have a discussion about it?
Yeah, I think the motion is on the table and we're in the middle of a vote, so.
Someone just walked in here.
Okay, hello, all right, so, all in favor? Any opposition? Any recusals? Yes, one recusal is noted, 2 recusals are noted. Okay, thank you, that motion passed. Next, Curtis Archer, our fearless president, will present his report. It is for information only and no vote will be required.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Right. In the President's report, you will note just a quick little glance at business services. You notice that we've had some influence over 3,550 folks. That is due in part to the fact that we do provide peer-to-peer counseling right here in Harlem CDC's offices. In addition, we also start to do a tally of walk-in folks, small businesses looking for assistance. So we're also keeping that number as well. So we had an uptick to 3,550. What else can I point out? Well, please make sure that you check our website time to time for updates about upcoming workshops, from small business workshops to, of course, first-time homebuyer counseling. So if you know someone in the market looking to actually buy a co-op, a condo, a home, send them here. All of the services, remember, are your tax dollars at work. So please, I encourage you, harlemcdc.org. That's it.
Wow, thank you very much. Are there any questions, discussion? And seeing none. Thank you. Any new business?
I do have a question, Madam Chair. Would it be possible and appropriate to have a tour of the new buildings that are being developed, built in the downtown area? Even though it's not Harlem, but with the construction, with the accidents, with the increased housing, I think it would be appropriate to just take a few buildings and just look at construction, how they're being done, and also importantly, the workforce.
Would these be buildings that we have a stake in, that we have given money?
The ESD, the state has a staff.
Well, if staff could research that, I don't know.
So, I mean, well, we are in the process of scheduling a walkthrough for HCDC staff at the Victoria Theater project, which is our project. I'm not sure about, we can further discuss other projects that you guys are interested in.
I would just like to put it on the table, because as you see through the city, there's construction in the street, buildings. Every place you look, there is work being done. And we are strong, we're viable, we have all of the smartest lights in the chandelier as directors. And we could give input, but also the basic knowledge would be helpful.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, Destiny, for looking into that for us. And you all will be notified further if there are any tours that can be scheduled, and we will check calendars and things of that nature. However, before we close, I'd like you to introduce yourself for the record that you are here.
Arthur Rice, representing Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer.
Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, if I may, I did it for LaShawn, but also for all of the directors. I'd like to introduce Ms. Destiny Burns. Destiny is acting Executive Vice President, because as you know, Melvin Norris has left us to go on to the New York State Business Council. Exactly. So welcome, Destiny.
Thank you. Or welcome closer. And we certainly wish Melvin Norris the best. Any old business? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
All right. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. 6:33.
Thank you.